Welcome back to the Mastering What Matters podcast. It is the new year. I am amped for you and your goals, and I know that one of your goals this year is to be a highly skilled coach with a thriving business who makes their own schedule and gets to change lives on the daily. So today, we are talking about what it takes to become a highly skilled coach who has all of those things. And I'm breaking down the 3 things that you can start to master and focus on, and you can work on those 3 things today. Being highly skilled was a game changer for me. I have always respected skill. It has always been so important, even when I was a teacher. And when I was a teacher, my skill was the thing that would help me give my students growth. It was the thing that got me asked to write curriculums. It was the thing that got me to work with the Department of Education, where they invited me to work with them. It was the thing that got me invited to teach adjunct at Oregon State University, and it got me invited to speak at conferences and things like that. The fact that I was really good at what I did is what made the big difference. And it wasn't any different when I became a coach. Becoming a coach for me, my goal was to help people. It still is. I didn't know when I first became a coach how to be a marketer. I didn't know business strategy or any of that when I started. But what I did have was my skill in helping people. And because of my background in education, it was pretty advanced skill in helping people. And that skill is what made my business thrive. That skill is what got me quickly to a 6-figure thriving business and being able to stay there. In my very first year of coaching, I was just giving it a try. It was 2019, and I was just seeing if it was something that I wanted to do. And at the time, I was still doing it on the side because I was still teaching. That year, I'm pretty positive I made $12,000 in coaching. Without knowing marketing, without being business savvy, the very next year when I decided I wanted to continue coaching and actually do it more, I made $96,000 that very next year. It was not because I had a big following. It was not because I nailed my messaging. I mean, I still don't have a big following, right? I didn't have a post that went viral. It was because I was and am a damn good coach, a highly skilled coach. When my clients first came to me, they just didn't even want to leave, right? I have a client who is now my friend, who was one of my very first clients. She actually won a giveaway that I did when I very first began coaching to get my first clients. Before I had social proof and things like that, I did a giveaway to get 8 weeks of free coaching. And this 8 weeks was so beneficial for her that she stayed on for coaching for I don't even know how long, but years. And even now that I am no longer a health coach and I have switched away from that and have moved back into how people learn and a skills developer for coaches, she is still in my world and is still purchased from me. This is because she knows when she is in my world that I'm going to give her everything I've got, which is a lot, and I'm going to get her to her goal that she has in mind. When you are a highly skilled coach, your clients stay. And in many of the programs that I've been in masterminds and things like that I've paid to be part of, I've had some of the higher retention rates for clients because being a highly skilled coach is so super powerful. And when your clients want to stay around because you are highly skilled and because you are giving them the best possible service, incredible and very important things happen for you in your business. One, your community builds energy. When people stay in your community, it is so valuable for so many different reasons. But my very favorite reason is that you end up with veterans who can then help and guide noobs through the process. Those veterans get to then also see, as noobs come in, how much they have grown, and they see their own value when someone who's brand new to your coaching container, they're like, oh, I remember when that was a struggle, and I know now that I've solved it, I can reach out and share that with them. They've seen how far they've gone. When noobs come in, they have those guiding people who are still here, who are still around, who've gotten results to see as possibility. They see those people and they think, oh man, this is what I get to become. When they are like nervous or something, they have somebody to ask, to be like, hey, I see that we are both nurses. How did you get through? How'd you get past this roadblock? Like, I'm finding it hard. And that person, the veteran, can help that noob, and that noob can get that support. It's so important because your community will build that energy, and then it becomes this energy of sharing and guidance and support, and it's just so much magic. But that can only happen if your clients stick around. Your community also grows in size. This is super beneficial for you because you want to make more income. You want to impact more lives. So when people stick around, that happens as well. You get referrals. Clients who already trust you are then referring their friends, saying, come to this person that I trust who's supported me so well and helped me get my result. I'm already on my second goal with them. People who are then referrals are, as when you think about like marketing, when you think about your sales funnel and different things like that, they are so much easier to bring in because there's already that trust of somebody that they trust advocating for you to help them understand what it's already like in your community. And then, of course, when people stick around and you are a highly skilled coach, you get so much positive social proof. Having a win that pertains to something that you want. If you are a health coach and you have clients that are saying they are safe to feel vulnerable, they're not scared to tell you about the scale or scared to tell you about their feelings, and they're losing weight and they're losing inches, you get to share all of that. If you are a career coach and they're talking about how they feel like you understand them and understand where they want to go, and other career coaches or recruiters have never like really listened to them and given them jobs they didn't care about, right? Well, you get that social proof, and then other people then trust you even more and also see the results that you are getting people. I have found that in becoming a highly skilled coach, everything else about your business becomes easier. Everything does. Like I said, I didn't have an expertise in marketing or messaging or copy or any of that in order to build a 6-figure business. It all came from being highly skilled. So I want to share with you today the 3 areas that I believe, in my experience of becoming skilled in anything, like this is pretty transferable to, I think, any career that you have or anything that you're working on. But the 3 areas that you need to focus on, and these are actually the 3 things that I also teach in Coaches College. So the very first thing about being highly skilled, the very first thing you have to focus on is you. You have to actually just believe in your value, which is much easier to do when you see your skill and you feel your skill. Imposter syndrome is the thing that I think holds so many coaches back, holds so many people back from anything they do and all the skill that they have in their life. And if we could get beyond that hump, we could then see our own value. And when we see our own value, we can then use our own value. But so often, if you don't see something as valuable, you're not going to use it. And then no one's going to be able to get anything from you hiding yourself, right? You're not going to be able to get people to results by hiding the things that make you skillful. So you have to believe in your personal experience, because your personal experiences are what bring you a lot of the skill that you have. And this is one of the first things that I think is so powerful. So like I said, and I was a little bit afraid to say this earlier, but one of the reasons why I was immediately highly skilled as a coach is because I have my experience as a teacher. And I was like, when I said that, I felt like people were like, well, of course, she had this other career that totally aligns. Education is so close to coaching. And yes, they do overlap. Yes, that did help me make me highly skilled. But we don't want to overlook all of our personal experiences that actually make me even more highly skilled at what I did. So when I first became a coach, I had a nutrition certification and a health coaching certification, and of course my background in education. And so when we become a coach, whatever we want to teach on, it is a mix of our knowledge in an area and then our ability to impart that knowledge. So I, of course, had my knowledge about health, nutrition, movement for bodies, right, that I got from my certification and other studying that I had done. But the other part that makes me highly skilled is the how that all of that information is applied to the world. And that came from my personal experiences. I did not learn in my certification how to apply that. I learned that from all the times that I tried and failed, or tried and succeeded to do health in my own life. So the same thing goes now for my coaching skills program. A large portion of what I teach comes from the knowledge of my 3 degrees and countless certifications that I have in human development and education. And the rest of it comes from my experience in teaching and coaching for 15 years and how that has taught me the ins and outs of applying that knowledge. So there's so many things that you have in you already that make you highly skilled. Like one of the things that we work on in the first unit of Coaches College is identifying all of those experiences that you have. And you have to be ready and willing and open and understanding of who you are and what you can bring in order to even begin the journey of becoming highly skilled. So that's the first thing that I want for you. Your job is to start there and grow in it, to believe that you do have skills, and for you to start identifying them and looking at all of the experiences in your life that bring you the skills that are applicable to the application and the knowledge that your clients need when you go to get them result. The next area that I see coaches need to build out in order to be highly skilled, and I'm going to connect it together. It might not connect together for your brain, but it is your processes and your systems. And very specifically, these need to match who you uniquely are. And I know, like I said, that doesn't feel like being highly skilled as a coach because it's a system and a process. And lots of times we think about that as the operations person, but I completely disagree because I would not put my systems and processes in the hands of someone else fully, right? Or for example, I know that when I was picking a nutrition certification, that there was Precision Nutrition. They have their PN1, their nutrition certification. And what they do is they white label all of their systems and then give it to you, and then you are using their systems. And that is something that I would never do. It's not something that I encourage any of my coaches to do because I think it takes away from you being highly skilled. And the reason being is that you are doing someone else's skill set. And that means that it is not being genuine to you. It is not built from your experience and your knowledge, and therefore it won't cut through to your clients as well as if you actually were doing your own processes, right? It's kind of like, have you ever called into a helpline for Verizon or AT&T or something, and you can tell that they're talking off of a script, and you're like, yo, listen to me and help me. You don't need to ask me that question, but they're obviously still asking all of the questions. That is what it is like if you are white labeling scripts and things like that. Your clients don't feel like you are truly behind it, and that does not make them feel supported. That is not what a highly skilled coach does. Am I poo-pooing on this? Like if you are brand new? No, of course. Practice something, get your bearings with something, that's fine, but do not stick with that, right? This does not provide the best service to your clients, and it definitely doesn't make them want to stick around. So what are some things that we want to do and that we want to think about as a highly skilled coach with our systems and our processes? It starts right in the very beginning. It starts with having a smooth and seamless onboarding system that helps you get all of your clients' information so that you can make informed decisions for your clients, since you aren't just copy pasting cookie cutter remedies for them, right? And this then goes back to your skills. You need to be having an intake system that gives them whatever information they need for your particular program, but you also need to be asking them questions that are pertinent to what you know and what your experience will guide them through, right? So when I had my intake form for health coaching, I asked them very specific questions that had to do with my own personal framework, right? And that had to do with my own personal beliefs about health and fitness. One of the things that was my belief is that there are a ton of rules in health and fitness, and I wanted my clients to not feel like they had to follow any of them in order to get the results that they want. I wanted them to make their own rules. So I needed to learn and be identified, or not be identified, and be able to identify what are the rules that they think they're following that we are going to have to work on together, right? I need to be informed so that I know how to help them. And when you are highly skilled, all of your knowledge is distilled into a framework that you can walk your clients through to their results, starting from gathering that information in your framework gathering that information in your intake form, then walking them through your framework as you go. And that is built based on the knowledge that you have in your subject area, as well as all of the experiences you've been through. There was nothing in my nutrition certification that talked about the rules. In fact, there were just a bunch of rules in there, right? But as I learned more and studied more, I noticed that there were multiple ways to accomplish something, right? Versus walking 10,000 steps a day or drinking a certain amount of water. Those were all rules that I know people could get results in different directions by bypassing. That's another time you could go back way back into this podcast when it was a health podcast if you want to like look into that and learn about that. But that is my own personal experience that became part of my framework, right? I'm using my knowledge, my experience, how I got through those things, and then teaching my clients that at that time. It makes the process very clear, makes it easy to follow when you have that framework. And it helps your clients always know where they are and where they are going so that they stay until they get the job done. A highly skilled coach would have a clear framework and program for your clients to go through. When you have that, you also have a clear process for what you go through on your coaching calls. This helps your clients feel really supported when you are on the ball moving through your call. It would use your strengths to help you get your client where they need to on the call. And so what is even more awesome about all of this is when you do all of this as a highly skilled coach, you will be perfectly primed to make a group program or a course. And that helps you to grow even more and serve even more people without having to work 80 hours a week. So when you have your clear framework built out with your experience and your knowledge, and it's very easy to follow, that's when you can replicate it to that mass scale and still get people amazing results. You get to make more impact and more income because you are highly skilled. That was one of the things that was really helpful for me as well. I was able to start impacting more people without having to add hours to my work week. And it was really valuable. And it was because I was a highly skilled coach who was able to organize that into a way for people to use without having to be live with me. The third, and I think the most powerful thing about being a highly skilled coach is your communication. And I want to be clear about a belief that I have, and it might feel a little bit spicy, but I say this with the most love possible. I know you know a lot about your industry and your knowledge. You might know about all the muscles in the body or what it takes exactly to get a job, but that does not make you a coach. It makes you someone who knows a lot of things, which is still really great. But to be a coach, you have to have the soft skills of creating motivation, meeting people where they are at and growing their understanding, creating consistency in someone, holding space for someone, helping someone feel vulnerable and safe, helping someone create and take action. Those are actions of what it takes of being a coach. You can be a coach and have no specific knowledge, honestly, at any point. I remember after becoming an expert teacher that I had the realization that I was like, I honestly could teach anyone anything right now. I don't know how to surf, but I know I could teach someone how to surf, right? Because teaching isn't about the knowledge as much as it is about the delivery of the knowledge, about the actions that the teacher takes to help the student gain understanding. And this is why I can help people write curriculums on subjects that I don't even know. This year, I helped to create 2 curriculums that are going to change a lot of lives, and I'm so proud of them. One was on brand marketing, and the other was on the creative conscience of artists. Not an expert in knowing those things. No, the people that I worked with, they were the people who knew the stuff. I was the person who knows how to translate those and use skills and strategies that I know that can share their knowledge, their stuff with the world. This is what makes you a highly skilled coach. Knowing everything that you know because you are so freaking knowledgeable, right? And then being able to combine that with the communication and the soft skills to translate everything you know to your client. This is what the third and big meat-packed unit of Coaches College is created on. So, Coaches College, I actually created this to teach you all three of these things so that you can become highly skilled. And when you are highly skilled, you'll have a thriving business, impacting hundreds of people, making six figures doing it. And your highly skilledness will transfer into your marketing, into your sharing, into your getting new clients, because being highly skilled is what gets your clients to come back to you and resign. It's what makes referrals pop into your inbox. And knowing your processes is what makes marketing really, really easy. You end up with so much social proof that just sharing it is what attracts people to you. You end up knowing your processes so well that your consult calls are so simple, and new clients understand exactly what they're going to be going through and understand thoroughly how you will help them all the way to get to their results. This is what happens when you focus on you, allowing yourself to see your value, going through the processes of finding what is your unique value in you, honing your systems and processes. So putting all of your knowledge of your industry, all of your skills and strategies to use in a process that makes you confident and is very clear, both for you and your client. And then focusing on your communication. How do you create that motivation? How do you create safety, vulnerability? How do you get your clients to understand deeply? How do you help them to be consistent? All of that is in the way you use your language to get them to move forward. And this is what I want for you. And this is why I created Coaches College. This is the year that you become highly skilled. We are launching cohort 2 of Coaches College in February, and I want you there with us. I'll leave the link in the description box down below to get on the wait list. I just finalized the bonuses, and there's really fucking good ones. Better. I'm sorry for cohort 1 because cohort 2 has better bonuses. But these bonuses are just on top, the cherry on top, the whipped cream of the amazing result that you will get of being highly skilled, having a thriving business where you get to make a big impact and change so many lives while living a life that you love and feels really meaningful. I cannot wait for this year for you.